and welcome to Kappa's Careers in the Arts series, where we explore the many career opportunities the fine and performing arts have to offer. I'm your host, Amy Handra, and today we're exploring a career that I personally know a lot about because it's my career, Director of Education. As the Director of Education for Kappa, I work to create and deliver programming that helps us fulfill our mission of making the transformative power of the arts available to everyone in our community. And I work to build the partnerships and relationships that will help us fulfill that mission. The programming that I do here at Kappa is broad and diverse, and it includes the Kappa Marquee Awards, which are a regional musical theater awards and educational program, the Passport to Learning Student Matinee Series, which provides arts opportunities for students pre-K through 12th grade, the Dig Deeper video tutorial series, which provides instruction on performing and technical theater, and this very series, the Careers in the Arts. In addition to the educational programming, I also work to create outreach programs that serve people in the community of all ages. So for example, in 2019, I created a community arts program connected to a show called Sunjata Kamalenya, which was the real Lion King story. Experiential Theater Company came to Columbus to perform the show, and before the show, we created a series of community arts activities. Those included African dance and drumming, creating a wearable piece of art, and an interactive story time. Members of the community joined these activities, and then we invited everyone downstairs to the Lincoln Theater for a performance of the show. So, like a lot of young women in theater, I got started in second grade with a production of Annie, in which I played the youngest orphan. I had one line, and I still remember it to this day. My mom famously says that I got bit by the theater bug with that show, and I never looked back, which is true. So, throughout middle school and high school, I continued doing theater and musicals and choir and band, and decided when I was thinking about what I wanted to do in college to pursue a theater degree in college. I went to Wright State University and got my Bachelor's of the Fine Arts in theater with an emphasis in acting. So in addition to loving theater and the arts, I also always really enjoyed learning. I loved being in a classroom environment and learning new things. So once I graduated from college, I wanted to try to figure out a way that I could combine my love for theater and the arts and my love for education. So I went to the University of Dayton and got a master's in the sciences in teaching, and I started teaching high school English and drama. And then after a time of doing that, I decided to go back and sort of refresh my own acting training. And I went to get my MFA in acting from the University of Alabama. Roll Tide. And then after that, I went to New York and I got an agent, and I did a lot of acting work, off-Broadway shows, regional theater, international theater, and commercials. And when I found myself back in Ohio, I was looking for a position that I could utilize my whole background, and the Director of Education position came up for a theater company, and I took that. And a few years later, the Kappa position became open, and I applied and was so happy to come on board at Kappa. So some of the skills that are really important to my job, I actually like to think of them as the 3 C's. The first is creativity. I have to find ways that I can creatively engage the community. Collaboration, I have to build those partnerships and relationships that will help me fulfill those creative programs. And then the third is critical assessment. And to me, this is really the most important part, which is using critical skills to decide whether the programs that I'm creating have made an impact and what that impact is. So the most fun part of my job is being able to share just my love and joy of the fine arts and the performing arts with other people. I especially love when it's a young person who's coming into the theater for the first time and getting to see the joy and excitement on their faces when they watch their first arts experience. And I love being a small part of making that opportunity happen. So my advice would be, one, to just get started, to, dig in and start finding what you love and what you're passionate about, especially in the field of, the arts. For my position specifically, there are lots of different paths to it, but those paths do usually start with a college degree. So gaining, experience that will lead you to a college or university where you can study theater and or education would be important. But ultimately, I think that it is really about finding that love and passion that you have and figuring out how you can share that love with other people. So I want to talk to you today about how I go from the beginning stages of creating a program to seeing it through to its final product. So when Hamilton was here, I knew it was a great opportunity to connect that show with the community. And I wanted to create a project that would speak to some of the themes in the show. So I created a spoken word program in which we went out into the community with some wonderful poets and teaching artists to hold some spoken word workshops. And we focused those workshops on the themes of Hamilton, of creating a legacy, of making a difference in the world. And we held 4 different workshops in different parts of Columbus and had participants sign up of all ages. We had participants from age 7 all the way up to 67 participate. And they worked to learn about poetry and the art form of spoken word and how they could take those tools to create and write their own poem inspired by a theme from the show. Then we took the poems and the poets and gave them an opportunity to participate and compete in a poetry slam, which we held prior to the show coming to Columbus. We had a panel of judges and held a poetry slam in which they competed, and we had a winner named in both the youth and adult category, and those 2 people won 2 free tickets to see Hamilton. What was really important to me about this program was it was an opportunity to connect a community of people that maybe had never done spoken word before, but maybe knew of Hamilton and were fans of Hamilton, with another group of people that didn't maybe know anything about Hamilton, but maybe they loved or were fans of spoken word. So we're bringing those 2 different diverse communities together to learn from each other and experience an activity in an event. And to me, that's the really rich part of outreach, is that we are able to bring diverse groups of people together. For today's extension activity, pick an interest you enjoy. Then create an outreach project to share this interest with your community. When you create your project, be sure to decide what community partners you might collaborate with to deliver your program, how you will creatively engage your participants, and how you will critically assess the impact of your project. To learn more about today's career, visit kappa.com for additional resources. And be sure to join us next time when we explore another career in the arts.